One of the greatest things about the original Daredevil series that premiered on Netflix years ago was its characters. And to be a little bit more specific, the characters oftentimes would talk about the what it means to be a hero. They would also talk about right and wrong, and pretty much all of these conversations where characters are in a room just talking to each other, despite the fact that this is setting in a action-based superhero type of show. One of the best parts about these superhero shows, if well written that is just pretty much character coming to terms with who they are and finding out what it means to be who they are or what they want to be, basically. And sometimes when a character is getting an extension, in this case a new series that was in an amazing series quite some time ago, in this case being Daredevil Born Again, the director just comes out and says says something like completely asinine, and it makes me go like, huh? And it also creates like an issue, and it makes it feel like, this is like quite concerning when a director is speaking out about something like this. And what I mean by that is this: Daredevil's showrunner in this case is Dario Scardapane, I think. He says the MCU series will have a lot less navel gazing than Netflix series. And what is navel gazing? Well, pretty much the director doesn't, like this showrunner doesn't really want characters doing a lot of talking in a room together, because he feels like that was already done in the previous seasons of Daredevil back in the Netflix series. I'm sorry, but I like it when good writing is on a show, because it makes me like really want more. And that's part of the reason why the show succeeded in the first place. I don't think he had to say anything like this, because now it makes me worry quite a bit. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still excited for Daredevil Born Again because that trailer did look really good. And I love Charlie Cox's interpretation of Daredevil. But when a showrunner says something like this, it's quite concerning, honestly. So Marvel's Daredevil Born Again premieres on Disney Plus this coming March. The Charlie Cox starring series is continuation of Netflix's Daredevil show, which ran for 3 seasons. It is co-created by Scardapane, who also serves as a series showrunner. Speaking with SFX magazine, Scardapane also explained how Marvel Studios' Daredevil Born Again will be different from the Netflix show. There is more fun in the moments with these characters and a lot less navel gazing than before, Scardapane commented. He also said the earlier show, at its best, was fantastic. At its worst, it was 2 characters in a room talking about what a hero is. That was actually some of the more interesting parts of the show, in my opinion. And having that kind of inner conflict and then having that conflict with other characters just made the characters that much more interesting. I don't know what it is about him saying something like this, but I feel like all this supposed stupid action that we're going to be seeing in this series is to make up for like the lackluster in the writing when it comes to like this show. That's what it sounds like to me, and that's how I'm interpreting this. Continuing on, I felt that had been done. I'm not taking swipes. I just didn't want to hear characters grousing about their lot in life. I wanted to see them doing things. Scardapane further noted that Daredevil Born Again will be much darker, which is fine, but just because something is much darker doesn't make it like better by any means. A movie can be very dark compared to another, but that doesn't make it better. Having good writing and also making it much darker, sure, that would make it a lot better. When it comes down to it, having good writing is really what's more important than making something edgy and darker for the sake of being just edgy and darker. He said, I really feel that Netflix's Daredevil, which I know in my blood, was much more noir, and this show is more New York crime story. It has elements of The Sopranos and The King of New York. There's a feeling for those classic 90s crime tales. It has a pace and a scope that, for a lot of reasons, Netflix wasn't able to do. They were very dark, cinematically, not necessarily story-wise, although there were some dark elements. The new show also stars Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, Deborah Ann Woll as Karen Page, Eldon Hansen as Franklin, Foggy Nelson, Ayelet Zuror as Vanessa Mariana Fisk, John Bernthal as Frank Castle Punisher, Wilson Bethel as Benjamin Dex, Poindexter Bullseye, and more. So Daredevil Born Again will premiere on Disney Plus on March 4th, 2025. And there you have it. Again, I think that was quite the controversial, I guess you can say, controversial statement to make when it comes to a series like this, because a series like Daredevil on Netflix is well known for having well-rounded characters, being fleshed out, because they get to talk about, the things like this as far as what makes a hero. Matt gets to talk to a lot of the people in his life, including his pastor, including characters like Karen Page, Foggy Nelson, just having that like conflict with Foggy Nelson and their friendship being at risk because Foggy is a lawyer just like Matt Murdock is, and Foggy finding out that Matt Murdock is a vigilante goes against the principles that they both like work for, and which is basically obeying and like, you know, enforcing the law. And that was some of the most interesting things of the original Netflix series. And for the showrunner to come out and say something like that, where they're not going to focus on navel gazing or whatever you call it, is quite concerning, to be honest with you. I don't want a Daredevil series where it's just kick and punching all day and like all the time with barely any characters being fleshed out. I want characters to take a breather here and there and talk to each other and stuff like that, because that's what makes it interesting and that's what engages us as an audience. But anyway, you let me know your thoughts. Are you concerned now for the Daredevil Born Again series because the showrunner came out and said something like this? Are you still going to watch Daredevil Born Again? Let me know. I like to have a dialogue going in the comment section. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the bell notifications so you all don't miss anything. Dislike the video if you did. And as always, I will see you all in the next comic panel.